According to the Indianapolis Colts, reported back pain during his pre-training camp physical. The Colts said, all right, that's fine. That is not sustained whilst playing, and they're considering the non-football injury list, which would give them the option potentially of not paying Jonathan Taylor, who wants to trade, who the owner said, if I'm gone and he's gone, nobody's going to miss us. And then Jonathan Taylor hit X, which if you woke up one morning and said, what the hell happened to my Twitter? And you had this big X on your phone. It's now X. It never had back pain, never reported back pain. Not sure who sources are, but find new ones. A little problem going on in Indianapolis, don't we?
Source is probably Jim Irsay on the back pain, saying, yeah, we're going to make sure that this guy doesn't get his money. Because Jim Irsay, not too fond of running backs, or especially his starting running back that does not want to be on that team right now. And that was just a bizarre outcome with where Jim Irsay went with his comments following the trade request. We know this market, if you wanted Jonathan Taylor, I would get him for a couple IOUs and a pack of bubble gum at this point in time, because the value is not there. And man, this does not feel like a situation that's going to end well for Jonathan Taylor, because just like we saw with another running back, Saquon Barkley, it's either you play on what you have, accept the franchise tag, or you get to sit out.
I keep going back to this. Who do you want to take the money from? It's a problem for running backs. Is Jonathan Taylor underpaid for a running back? What's he make? He's still on his rookie deal, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of the thing. What's he making? Probably not much. A few million. I mean, again, in reality, if you're on a franchise tag and you and I have to work for $10 million this year, we're going to get along. So you've got to put it into perspective, or do you? Are people feeling bad for running backs? Like, do you feel the sentiment to swing towards them? Because with all due respect, I just don't. I don't hear a lot of players coming out. I mean, now you'll hear quarterbacks saying, sign him. I heard Dak Prescott say, sign Zach Martin. Well, yeah, he's your left guard. Yeah, he protects you. Yeah, sign the man, and we'll get there. But I don't hear the world coming out, because everybody understands that if they were a general manager or an owner, they'd be doing the same thing, right? And so I think running backs are fighting this battle, and it's a battle that they're going to continue to fight, and good for them. They need to fight it, and they need to fight for everything they're going to get. Do you feel sentiment swaying towards them? Because I don't.
Not at all. And this is one where you're not going to be swayed one way or the other, because this sports fan, football fan sees it and goes, yeah, I'd do the exact same thing if I was a front office and management. And you have a position that you have capped its value, and running back is an exceptional value for a team. I know we talk about how much they're worth, but we're also, all of us are sitting here talking out both sides of our mouth, because we're saying, we don't want to pay this guy this, pay that guy that, but then we're looking and people are saying that Dalvin Cook can swing a division. So what is it? Well, it is everything. It's these guys are worth more than they're getting, but they're not going to get more, because when you don't have to pay a good player a lot of money, you're not going to get the same value.
Yeah, and you could pay other good players the money. I don't know where this can end, but I don't believe it's going to end well for Jonathan Taylor. And you got an issue now. Now, I got to believe if in fact he did not say he has a back issue, and this is really weird, right? I mean, the player's saying, I never had back pain. I never told him I had back pain. And the team is somehow saying, well, he reported back pain, and he failed his physical. This is a source. He failed his physical because a combination of previous ankle injury, right? That's a football injury for which surgery was performed earlier this year, and the back injury. So the team's medical staff had not previously discussed any back issue with Jonathan Taylor. The Colts were unaware of the problem until he reported on Tuesday. The back injury could be an old injury. Taylor, evidently, according to the team, is complaining of discomfort. But then he says, nope, I don't have a back injury. I want my money. Is Jonathan Taylor going to play for the Indianapolis Colts this year?
No.
Will he play football this year?
I think it's going to be a battle for Jonathan Taylor to play football because Jim Irsay is not a dude. Feels like he'll let things go. And he's like, all right, you want a new contract? Nope. Still got you on a rookie deal. You want to be traded? Nope. We don't have to do that. Have fun saying no.
So you think he's not going to play football? And the owner and the player are drawing a line in the sand right now where they're making it pretty clear they dislike each other. And so you don't think he's going to play?
Especially with the quote that came out from Jim Irsay.
I don't know.
It's not, hey, we're going to have discussions, business moving forward. We hope he's in camp because he's still in the contract. It was, quote, if I die tonight, and this is Jim Irsay saying this, if I die tonight and then Jonathan Taylor's out of the league, no one's going to miss us. The league goes on. We know that. The National Football League rolls on. It doesn't matter who comes and who goes. It's a privilege to be part of it.
End quote. Okay.
This does not sound like an owner that's going to trade Jonathan Taylor and or give him more money.
Take his quote, by the way. Can I ask you this? Is anything in there he said not true? If Jim Irsay dies and Jonathan Taylor's out of the league, you can miss either one of them? Will the world go on? The league go on? The National Football League rolls on, right? Doesn't matter who comes and goes. It's a privilege to be part of it. I mean, he's not totally wrong. I don't know.
I would hope someone would miss.
Did you miss Jonathan Taylor at the end of the season when he wasn't playing?
I would hope someone would miss anyone if they're gone.
I know. But will you?
I think if Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor died, that would be a bit shocking.
It would be horrible, dude. It would be freaking horrible. Nobody wants Jonathan Taylor gone and Jim Irsay dead, I don't think. But he's not wrong.
But Jim Irsay's gone off the deep end.
Yeah, a little
with
bit.
This running back conversation.
He
has
bit.
Gone off the deep end.
A little bit. Irsay said flat out, we're not going to sign him to an extension at this time. Irsay told the NFL, told ESPN last week, the club has not even made a contract offer to the running back, the leading rusher during the 2021 season. They got hurt last year. It's just part of the way the makeup is. And by the way, you wouldn't, and I wouldn't, and the majority of us wouldn't, because they don't have to. Now, they're going to go on. They got a rookie quarterback. Like, the Colts could be really bad, right? The Colts, if Jonathan Taylor doesn't play, and it's starting to look that way, and they start Anthony Richardson at quarterback, or Gardner Minshew, and then it's Zach Moss, Deion Jackson, and Evan Hull at running back. Michael Pittman's their best receiver.
They'll be fine. You don't need running backs. You just need a combination of running backs.
That's fine. I mean, we do come to the conclusion, we do agree that there are some running backs who are superior to others, right? And Jonathan Taylor would be one of them. Now, whether they get paid a lot is a whole other story.
Yes.
And again, these guys are making $1 million and $2 million, and Jonathan Taylor, well, not Jonathan Taylor, but Saquon Barkley, Pollard, those guys are making $10 million. I mean, there's a significant difference between 10 and 2, right?
Yes.
All right. I mean, they are getting paid a little bit, right? I just want to make sure I understand that. All right, 505-246-0610. Aaron Rodgers is taking his swipes back at the Sean Payton, sticking up for his coach. You down with this? You down with what? Look, you knew this was going to come back. Sean Payton backed down a little bit this weekend after going complete. Was he just like on a bender, dude? Was he drunk? Was he like? I mean, I say that tongue in cheek, but it's the kind of stuff that you hear from a dude one night who he's out after a few, and when he tells you what he thinks, he comes back, yeah, no, I should have said that. I'm not telling you that I think he was drunk when he said it, but I mean, did you see the parallel there?
No, he said that he forgot he was a coach and not on radio anymore.
Same kind of thing, right? I mean, I'm not telling you I think he was drunk, but yeah, right?
And I think Aaron Rodgers landed a nice counterpunch in this one. I do.
Saying that he's insecure?
No, about the comment that really got me going from Aaron Rodgers, and this isn't one. Usually, anytime Aaron Rodgers said something over the last year, people say, "All right, whatever, move on." Aaron Rodgers. I think he landed a nice counter.
Which one?
I'll tell you after the break.
All right. We'll take the phone call after the break as well at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. We're going to continue our Mountain West Conference previews today. Let you know who and when coming up here after the break. Got to get into a lot of the baseball stuff. Max Scherzer's on the move. Angels and Rockies made a trade last night. unloading some players in Colorado. World Cup goes on. But when we come back, I can't wait to hear what you said was the knockout punch by Aaron Rodgers. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Just search KNML.
9 o'clock, Doug Brumfeld, UNLV's quarterback. Probably the best quarterback in the league, wouldn't you say?
Highest ceiling.
So, like,
Yes.
if you're going to say one of these guys is going pro, your bet would be on him.
He has all those tools
I think that's
to be
right.
a next level quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's right. Potentially at the NFL level, a guy that the biggest issue is young men just stay healthy, right? Every year he comes out and you're like, whoa, he's so good, and then you hear, oh, Brumfield got hurt against Northern Illinois, right?
Yes.
And so they don't have it, and so we'll talk to him 9 o'clock. I think you'll enjoy it too because it's a young man who's been through a lot, decided to stay through a coaching change. Why he decided to stay through a coaching change. Asked him about the NFL. I think one of the things I really want to ask him is, how do you stay focused on rebuilding a program here, and you got all these people whispering in your ear, you're going to the next
and
level.
It's a challenge for Brumfield because he doesn't have the resume yet because he's been injured. But when he's been on the field, he is the most talented quarterback in the Mountain West. There's a reason that Chevron Cordero was the preseason offensive player of the year, the quarterback at San Jose State, because he has the talent plus the resume. He's been able to put it all together. But if Brumfield could put a whole season together, UNLV could be a very different football.
Well, and that's why a lot of people are picking them a lot higher than you normally see UNLV, but even with a new coach. And Coach Odom has done a lot of great things. All right, so we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and him coming back at Sean Payton, the head coach of the Denver Broncos, who went off on the former coach of the Broncos, who's someone who's close to Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett, who is the offensive coordinator of the Jets. Quote from Rodgers: "It made me feel bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in this league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up for some easy fall if it doesn't go well for them this year." I think it's way out of line, inappropriate, and I think it needs to keep. I think he needs to keep my coach's name out of his mouth. Out of. He even said out of. Is it normally out his mouth? Out of his mouth.
Yeah.
End quote. All right. So what was the knockout blow?
I will first say
Yeah.
that as much as Aaron Rodgers talks to the media, does weekly hits, Sean Payton coming out, like, just own what you're saying. If you want to say it, don't back off it. You'll have your chance. And Sean Payton has his chance week 5 when the Broncos play the Jets. So I wasn't a fan of Sean Payton backing off all his comments.
Which he did,
after the
which
fact.
is surprising.
Because you put it out there. Now just go and own it. If you want to play that game, then Aaron Rodgers, the Jets are going to come back at you and have at it. But the part that got me with Rodgers is when he said, bring another man down to set themselves up for an easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team. And that one really hit home. It's like, oh, yeah, it is a little Sean Payton, not just trying to take shots at the Jets and how the offseason might have married the Broncos last year with winning on paper and not on the field. But you get that feeling that, yeah, Sean Payton could go, what do you expect from me? This was a mess. You think I could fix this in a year?
Needs
Like,
more
oh.
than a year. It was worst coaching job ever. It's interesting. No,
I was like, okay, that's a nice counterpunch.
Yeah, it's interesting. I agree with you. And DC, I see you up to the mic. That's your team and your coach. It almost felt the other day when we were talking about it, you were kind of fired up. Yeah, look at him. It was the worst coaching job ever. And then he backed down and I should have said it. And, well, whatever. How do you feel about that?
I could not believe how quickly he walked that back.
Why?
I just, the fact that he said it seems like he was going to own it, and then less than 24 hours later, he's walking it back. I mean, it's probably the professional thing to do.
Was it the professional thing to do at that point? I wonder. No, I wonder.
That's a good question. I mean, he's already said it. It's out there. So what is an apology really good for? But, yeah, I don't know. I look at him. I like his fire, but walking that back so quickly, I kind of have more questions than answers.
Once it runs out of your face, right, you kind of got to own it.
Exactly.
And I guess we've all had to walk things back at some point. But what I'm struggling on this one because I don't know that I have a firm opinion on this one. Like I was entertained by it.
Very entertained.
When he said, I'm like, yeah, he called a spade, and it was. I mean, we all kind of sat here and said, and for you to say it, for me to say it, for JJ to say it, for a fan to say it, yeah, okay. For the guy who comes in next, the guy before me didn't care. The guy before me was the worst ever. The guy before me, whatever, man. Just do your thing. I don't know what's the professional thing. Well, to not say it would be the most professional thing. But once it's out your face, I don't know. Do you have to to your point, do you have to stand by it, or is it like, I shouldn't have said that? Well, you did, dude. Everybody knows how you feel. Like whether you say, nah, it wasn't right. Well, how did he walk it back? I shouldn't have said it. It wasn't, I was just looking for his quote somewhere. But he never said that's not how I feel, did he? So did he really walk it back?
Not really. And the thing with Sean Payton is, all right, if you don't want to be that guy, then don't drop more rants the rest of the season. But I don't. The only people that were offended were the Jets fans in all this, and Aaron Rodgers stepping up for his coach. My problem with Aaron Rodgers, if you really love Nathaniel Hackett so much, why did you stay in Green Bay last year? Why did you hang him out to dry
because he knew he wasn't
as
ready
head
to be
coach
head
of the Denver Broncos?
Because he just
and not go to Denver.
Yeah, he knew he just wasn't ready to be a head coach. Burrow James, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, James.
Two things, guys. I got two things to discuss this morning. First of all, that one, the Sean Payton, you never say anything like that. You never come out and say that's the worst team that's ever been coached or whatever. You don't say that because you're a coach, he's a coach, you're in the same profession, and you don't say anything bad about anybody, and it's going to get reported because
of course it's going to get reported. That's why I said it
in the interview.
They all live off this stuff, they all live off it. And the second is running backs coming out of college. Yeah. You're going to see a lot more running backs staying in 4 years and collecting that NIL money before coming out because of what's going on right now as we see what's going on with, Saquon Barkley and all of them, So the NIL money is going to, you're going to stay in college 4 years. Other positions that are really being downgraded in the NFL, you play that position in college, stay there 4 years and make the money off NIL before you go to the pros. So you have something to back up. So
there you go. Then it's helping
college
football.
It's a beautiful day in SoCal. You guys have a wonderful day.
Enjoy it.
The heat is gone a little bit, but it's all good.
Right
you guys
on.
have a good one. Go Bruins.
Later. We get surf reports. We get weather reports out of SoCal. Need a traffic report on the I-5 and the 405 and if you're coming out of the valley into Century City, 101 is going to be clogged all the way to the 405, and then it's a parking lot from the 405 as you come up the hill to Sepulveda Pass. I can do that. But usually they have them in the helicopters. Do they do traffic reports on every 10 minutes? Do you know how we do it like during morning drive and after? They do it all 24 hours there. 24 hours on KNX News Radio. Running back staying in longer. I think players. You're watching basketball players staying longer, aren't you? Because of NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think, in a large respect, that's probably why Jalen House came back?
Absolutely.
Right? Can some players? I think you're going to see more and more college basketball players staying in, as opposed to, well, if I'm not going to be a first round NBA pick and get the guarantee, and there's only 30 of those, right? Do I want to go overseas? God, maybe I can make more money staying here.
What makes you think Collective is going to pay running backs?
That's interesting.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
No,
too.
it's really interesting. I wonder what the disparity in NIL money is with running backs to. Is there a reporting mechanism? Is there a disclosure mechanism on NIL money?
Zero.
So it's not regulated.
That's what part of what they're trying to get passed in Congress. And
that was that Tommy Tuberville, Joe Manchin thing?
Bill that they put together. That was one of the things.
How about those two coming together, by the way? Tommy Tuberville and Joe Manchin, right? Those and this massive bill, and they're trying to get rid of part of that massive bill because there's always stuff buried in these things, is to cut the immediate transfer, right?
Yes.
They would part of that would be.
So I got to read the fine print.
This is funny, right? Because it's almost, Congress is like, all right, you wanted our help? You want our help? Well, here's what we think. So we'll give you help, and we'll help you regulate NIL. And I don't like that transfer after the first year, so they have to be somewhere 3 years before they can transfer. Which, by the way, probably isn't legal, right? Because that would be challenged.
All of it will be.
Oh, of course. We're so far away from getting any of that done. All right. here's what we're going to do for you today. 505-246-0610. So 9 o'clock this morning, Doug Brumfield, the quarterback of UNLV, probably the best quarterback in the league. If you're going to say right now, pro prospect, best pro prospect, that would be your guy. And he's got a really interesting story. I think you'll like that at 9 o'clock. We're going to get into some of the baseball trade deadline stuff coming up next. Angels made a trade with the Rockies over the overnight, and I think that'll interest you a bit. And what does it mean that Max Scherzer goes to Texas? Are the Mets blowing it up? They have the highest payroll in the history of the game. So it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Traffic's looking pretty good for your Monday commute. It is a little slow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
The round.
The golf course was actually, considering the heat and no rain, I thought the golf course was in great shape. Did you ever play there before?
No, that was my first time there.
Fun track, huh?
It is a fun track. It is a beautiful building. Service there was incredible. I was highly impressed.
Yeah, Nick and that whole staff do a great job. I saw Nick. Did you guys see him? Did he come by?
Yes.
Yeah. He came by in number 3, the par 3.
He said he coached you up a little bit.
He did. So he was a little disappointed. I hit the green. I was the only one. It was a green regulation, par 3. I was on the left side. That's that big giant hump. The pin was front right, and I was front left. And he's like, the pin's over here. I'm like, I know, man. Come on. I'm 1 under after 2. Give me a break. I made birdie on 2. Look, I had a little tap in birdie on 2. I started out really well. And he coached me, put it up on the hill, and left me about 8 feet below the hole, and I made the par putt. He's like, yeah, it's only a par. And I'm like, really? I'm not nearly good enough to get upset at a par. So I was thrilled. But it was good to see. I went and saw Nick afterwards and thanked them for the hospitality. Thanks to the Hall of Famers who came out. You got to meet Grady and Edward and Howard and Terry and Rudy. And if I'm Mrs. Joseph was there. Saw Joseph out at Hooters in the afternoon. Thanks to Fred for having us on the afternoon show and being part of that. And it was just a good day, man. It was kind of fun. Really appreciate Richard Pitino and Eddie Nunez and Danny Gonzalez all coming out, and Mario Mocha on the phone. And did I miss somebody? Who else did I miss? Did I miss anybody? I don't know. I probably did. We had a lot of guests lined up. It was
Mr.
really
Traub.
Oh, how could I forget that? Mr. Traub with the. Did you play golf in New Jersey?
Not the whole round, no.
Not the whole round. All right.
100 degrees.
It was a little toasty. It was a little, but Mr. Traub brought us a beautiful Isotopes jersey out there. It was really cool. So I made sure I sent him some pictures of wearing the jersey on the golf course. Just appreciative of everybody. It was a fun day. There's still some cake, by the way. You see that?
Is there really?
Yeah, there's still some cake in the kitchen if you want some of that cake. Appreciate old 7512 hitting the text line while I was on the afternoon show. Is it 10:08 p.m.? What day's today? 10:08 p.m. on Friday. So he came in on Friday at 10 o'clock. Sibeata, Sibeatta. That's close, kind of. Here's only what he wants to hear in support of his opinionated conclusions. He expects total conformity to his bias. Thank you.
I haven't gotten that over 15 years, and I don't know what you've been listening to.
See,
that was at 10 o'clock at night.
That was at 10:08 at night. Yeah.
Were you picking up a show late night or something?
I don't know, man. Maybe
picking up a shift.
Maybe he was listening to the podcast or something. I don't know.
It was a podcast. Absolutely. He downloads.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sibeata, Sibeata. I've seen a lot of them. I should put that on the back of the jersey. Nope, that's right. Only completely conform to my opinion. If you don't like it, then you can't exist. But appreciate actually Jeff Berry coming on. I wanted to get you this one. This is from Sid said, Mr. Sibeata, did Hooters roll out the red carpet for you and Mr. Buck? Yeah, that kind of did, don't you think? They kind of did. And then you're not familiar with Jason yet. Jason is a Hall of Fame emailer. He is an Aggie fan. He is creative. His theme tends to be the same, but his delivery is remarkably unique each time. Is that fair?
Very good form.
He's a good writer.
Good format.
So he said, "Good morning, OD. It's been a minute since I've parachuted in off the top rope with lava-like take. 15 years, guys. Congrats. When you have lived in a few markets, you really appreciate the perspective you all provide and format that this show has. May this show continue for 15 more. The memories from JJ's first solo show and him needing to bring it on Valentine's Day. Remember that? To watching Addie grow up before our eyes. Congrats, Jeff. I remember Jeff leaving a show to watch Addie at a spelling bee. It's actually the Spanish, it was that Spanish poetry thing. And to Jeff finding out he could drink water in Vegas. To legends like Donald and Lance Passing, R.I.P. To Hall of Fame guys, to the new callers, the drive-by callers, the Armandos, the nervous callers. It's been fun. Thank you, Jeff and JJ, for being the 3 hours of great entertainment every morning that you guys have been and being a part of the community's lives. Crimson Elite, Jason. That came in the other day and appreciate that. That was nice. AC, he won the golf. He said, good morning, Jeff. Just want to say thank you again to you and the whole staff. We had fun and would love to do it again. Great meeting you and hope to see you soon. Yeah, it was cool. Did you meet him?
We did actually on the way out. JJ and I ran into him, and yeah, very appreciative, cool guys.
He was at Hooters also in the afternoon, so that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was just a good day. And thank you to the radio station for putting on that little party, to Jeff and to Jared and to John for getting that done, and Manny being out there and Evan making sure. Evan played golf, right?
Yes, he did.
Made sure we were on the
He
air.
played really good on Friday.
Did he play well?
Yeah.
He's got a good short game.
Yeah, that wedge
Right?
stops it.
Yeah. No,
Wherever it lands.
Good time out there. All right, 505-246-0610. Baseball's trade deadline is upon us, and we're going to watch a lot today. So you saw the Max Scherzer trade over the weekend, which was kind of a big deal, but I thought they made a bigger deal of it, to be honest with you, than I really believe. I don't know what he's got left. We'll see what Texas does down the stretch. Last night, maybe you missed this, the Angels and the Rockies made a move. C.J. Cron and Randall Grichuk go from the Rockies to the Angels, as the Angels are trying to build around Shohei and make a run for the playoffs. So you guys get back two pitchers, Jake Madden and Mason Albright. Rockies' perspective first, because that's you guys. How you feeling?
Yeah. From the Angels, like it's all let's go, but a lot of it too is, why weren't you doing this last year or the year before?
Okay.
Like it's when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, all of a sudden they're like, oh, maybe we should have thrown a few more of these big swings out there to build around Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. I like Cron going in there. I think Cron provides them a punch. With Trout out of the lineup, and I mean, you watch Toronto pitch around Ohtani this weekend. When he hit the ball out of the yard, you saw their dugout all pissed off. Why did we even pitch to this guy, right? So I think Cron provides them some punch. They get a pitcher. They need pitching. For the Angel or for the Rockies, you okay? Madden and Albright. I mean, does it matter? It's more pitching.
Prospects in the organization.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. When you saw Scherzer yesterday going to the Rangers, or 2 days ago, whenever that, I guess it was 2 days ago now, were you underwhelmed like me? Because I looked at him like, okay, Scherzer's a name, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate what he's done in the postseason, and you just gave up the young Acuna, right, who's supposedly a stud prospect, for a basically 40-year-old pitcher who's been marginal this year. I don't know that I think that he's going to do for them what they think he's going to do for them down the stretch.
With the New York Mets, this is one where they're going to get absolutely shredded. And it's a disaster, and you see money can't buy wins. But on the other side of it,
I think the Mets made a good trade.
Yeah, but this is what you want your teams to do. Like, you sit here and look at it, is it too little too late? For the Angels, do they miss out on all that time with Shohei Ohtani to try to provide a better group of players around him versus a team that thought they bought that? But I think the shocking thing with the New York Mets is how quickly this went south for them. And the fact that it wasn't just Max Scherzer, but it's Justin Verlander. And yeah, last year, was Verlander good? Absolutely. These are still dudes on the back end of their pitching career. And that can fall apart more quickly than anything else.
Yeah. Now, I almost think the move that they made with the Cardinals, the Rangers made with the Cardinals to get Jordan Montgomery, I almost feel like that was a better move for them, or may play out better. I mean, there's a guy with a 3.42 ERA, a 3.09 strikeout to walk ratio, and 21 starts. I think that helps their rotation more. I get it, the name, and I'll throw a bulldog like Scherzer and Verlander out there, and I think Verlander may get traded too. Like, I'll throw them out there in the postseason because I know what they've done. But, man, I think it's a risk. I just do. 505-246-0610. Jess, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. We missed you out there, buddy.
I know it. And it's kind of crazy that these two things line up, which does make sense because, my son grew up with this show. I remember the Don Imus call. I was listening on 610 when he made that call, or that comment that basically got him, and then that's what kind of got you guys started.
Well, it got
Was
Ian
that
started.
one
Yeah,
away,
no,
right?
yeah. Well, there was the show before us. It got Ian started.
Yeah.
I think that's when they went to the local morning show when Imus went
Yeah.
off the air, because Imus was on this radio station for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of got Ian and Dennis started on the morning show.
Cooper Tires.
Yeah.
It was it was something else. But what a long journey it's been. How many great people I've met, and seen our families grow up, and so many things change on this show. We've lost people. It made me think on Friday of James Lindenmuth quite a bit.
Yep.
Big Donald, Lance, all those guys. And then all the callers over the years, some that don't call, we have no idea what happened. I think a lot of Armando, just one of those people that you don't forget, and that always brought warm feelings when you got to hear that guy come on the radio.
No doubt.
And just all those things. It's a great thing. I'm so glad that you guys are here, watching you guys grow up, watching JJ go from, just the young JJ Buck to the father JJ Buck now has been an amazing journey. And you guys have made me a better person and a better father in my own right. And I thank all of you for that. And I'm appreciative of this station and everything that it's brought. And it's always brought good things to my life. So I thank you guys.
Right on, Jess. We missed you. We'll see you soon, man. And you did the right thing. Jess was hanging out and fishing with his kid, and that's what's important. We'll see you soon. Appreciate the kind words. Thanks, man.
Later, boys.
See ya. Armando was a caller that kind of at one point rotated his time between here and El Paso. And Armando had some challenges, but he showed up at one of our events. Remember out at Rex's Burger?
I do remember that.
What do you remember about that?
The ketchup.
So
he liked his ketchup.
he sat down with me. We were doing one of these celebrations out at Rex's Hamburgers, and Armando came out and he sat down, and I ate with Armando. It was really cool, but the ketchup was like a Super Bowl, the amount of ketchup that he ate with his fries. And then I was down in El Paso years ago, and I was at an event. You know what it was? I did a press conference when we invited UTEP to New Mexico Bowl years ago, and Armando showed up. Okay, so after that, I went out with Steve Kaplowitz, who does sports talk radio down in El Paso on 600, or I believe is the station. And he was at a bar in the afternoon, so I went out to the place and sat down with him live, and we talked about the New Mexico Bowl and UTEP, and Armando was there. He showed up, and he came by because he heard I was going to be on. It was cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Miss him. He's not my Mondo. He's not your Mondo. He was our Mondo, and miss him a lot. But yeah, JJ, man, James and Lance and Big Donald, some legends on on the show that are no longer with us, and miss those guys too. Jess, appreciate the call. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. All right, we talked about the situation with Jonathan Taylor and Aaron Rodgers. How about your boy Jerry Jones? Why won't he pay Zach Martin when the quarterback just says, just pay the man? Well, I tell you, quarterbacks like to pay the man. I'll tell you why. That's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, get ready for a $7 meal deal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView.
The Sports Animal.
Was the Jerry Jones more Ronald Reagan? Like with a southern accent? Not really. I'll work on it. I mean, that's kind of Hoser's thing, you know? Opening drive, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in and play radio today, that's the Sports Animal phone line and the Sports Animal text line. Don't forget, the Sports Animal will be your home for the NFL, as it always is. Monday Night Football, Sunday Football, Thursday Night Football. You want it, we will have it, as we always do here on the Sports Animal. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday I get the Hall of Fame game?
This Thursday.
Jets and Browns?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's already
here.
All right, let's go. Tony's already here. Hello, Tony. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good morning, guys. Jeff, you know I love you, man. You know I do. But that has got to be the worst Jerry Jones impression I have ever heard in my life. I got the creeps, man, hearing that. I was like, what? Is he trying to be like, trying to say scary stories by the campfire or something? Oh, Jeff.
I'll work on it. Fair.
Does the saying, don't quit your day job, like, does that mean anything to you, Jeff, you know?
Which day job?
Oh, well, you get to play radio.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know, I didn't know that so many listeners had passed away, man. That's sad to hear because, you know, I've been listening to this show for a long, long time, and I enjoy it. And my sons, when they would go to work with me, they would hear it too. And now that they both moved to El Paso, they still hear the show.
Nice.
And that's good. And you know why they listen to it, and you know why you guys are so popular?
Because you make them be? Or you make them?
No.
Oh.
No, because you guys are just two ordinary guys talking about sports, and us listeners can relate to you guys. You guys are fathers, you guys are brothers, you guys are sons, and that's, you know what I mean? When you can relate to a radio guy, you know, it's nice when you can, you know, and that's what makes you guys so successful. And you know, I remember, you know, driving to work with my boys in the car with me, and hey, Dad, put on the opening drive. I want to hear what Jeff's got to say. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's just, you know, you guys helped me and my sons, you know, bond a little over what you guys were talking about. And you know, I still have those memories of them, you know, with me, you know, doing that. So thank you guys.
Thank you. That's like one of the coolest things. And I remember you and I used to go at it back on the when I was doing the afternoon show down in the down at the other place.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember you cutting me off a couple of times. So you know,
well, you were so insanely
I owe
wrong.
you one now.
Yeah, you do. Hang up on me.
You guys have a good day, okay?
Thanks, Tony. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's one of the coolest things I've heard in a long time. Oh, I mean, just I don't know. You do it long enough, you're going to get your haters, right? I don't even care.
Haters gonna hate.
But that's kind of the coolest thing I've heard, right?
It is that.
I'll never try to be as me.
Yeah, but it is that time of year where kids across the metro area are forced to listen to opening drive as parents take them to school.
Well, you know, the guys who played, Scott Cregan came out and played golf with us, and the other big guy was his kid, his son, and Matthew grew up listening to us because Scott would take him to school and we'd listen to us. So we would get calls. Okay, I got all the kids in the car. When are you gonna hoe? And when we would hoe, and he would send videos of he's got 3 kids in the car going on the way to school, carpooling, hoeing in the car on the way to school on a Friday. It's cool. Now, Tony, appreciate that. JJ, I don't know that you and I have ever tried to be anything but you and I, right? I mean, I've told you this for years. I don't want to be anybody different in person than I am when I was on TV or on the radio, because if you have a bad day and you got to get into you got to find your way into some personality and into whatever it is. It just, how do you do it, man? I don't know how, and you know, other people do it, and that's cool, and do your thing. I just, all I ever wanted to be was me, and if it was good enough for someone, that's cool, and if it wasn't, you know, there's probably another option for you to listen to on the radio. I don't know how to be anybody else. And I'm comfortable enough, as you know, in my own skin that you know, I'll share with you what I want to share, and I'll keep it private what I don't want to share. But I think there's a good mix, and Tony, obviously for Tony, we've hit it. Of you know, Pat Frisch, our old program director used to say it was really kind of cool when you bring out, you know, some personal stuff, because years ago he said, you know, people relate to that. The guy driving his car has got a kid too, or they had a youth game or a recital or a spelling bee or event, and they relate to that, and share some of that. I remember he used to say, and find the mix, and hopefully we did. I don't know, man. You've been with us 3 months. You've been a lot of places. Does it feel like this show's got the feel? I mean, you be honest. You've been a lot of places.
Oh yeah. This totally does, and it's so unique and enjoyable. I've actually had people ask, like, are they really like that? What are they like in person? It's like, yeah, what you see is what you get, and it's pretty cool. It's funny too, because my daughter and I, when I took her to school for a few months there at Rio Rancho, she listened for about 15 minutes in the morning. And it's interesting because you would bring up like track and field and things like that, and she'd say, oh yeah, well, our team is doing this or that. It's an interesting way to bond, and I think that is really cool. Tony really did hit that on the head.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, do I have time to get into Jerry Jones here? What do I got, 2 minutes? I got 1 minute? All right, when we come back, we'll get into that, because Jerry's holding firm. And his quarterback says, pay the guy. Zach Martin's the best there is. He's got 2 years left on his contract. There's $13.5 million left on his 2-year contract, or on the 2 years on his contract. So why is Jerry not paying him? We'll explain that in Jerry's words, maybe not his accent, but in his words when we come back. Coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, I think you're going to want to hear this. Doug Brumfield's JJ. Do you think I'm on a limb saying he's the best quarterback? Chevan Cordero's the preseason conference all-conference quarterback.
The highest ceiling
Okay.
The most potential is Doug Brumfield.
He's UNLV's quarterback. He's got an interesting story, and his issue is, can he stay healthy? But if there's one guy that most scouts would favor right now in the Mountain West Conference, say that's an NFL quarterback. And look, there's been plenty of them. Josh Allen comes to mind. This would probably be your guy. And so we'll have a conversation with him at 9 o'clock that I really believe you're going to enjoy. 505-246-0610 is how to get in touch with the show today. That's the phone line and the text line. You can send an email to Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's working making sure the show is on simulcast. We are on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
But Jerry Jones said we need the money to pay Parsons. We need money to pay the players that we got to pay in the future. It's a fact. It's not even a philosophy. It's just a fact. Those dollars are there, and we have this at this level. And if you redid all the contracts, then you could never put a roster together. End quote. His quarterback, Dak Prescott, said, just pay the man. And he told Ed Werder, yeah, all the quarterbacks are getting all the money. It's easy for them to say pay the man. He's basically saying, we're working on something, but he's not getting what he wants. Where does this one end?
Whew. And these owners are putting their foot down more so than we've ever seen before.
They almost have no choice, dude.
But these are the conversations you have to have. You want to always have them play on public? No. But here we are. And if I'm Zach Martin, I'm talking to my agent going, okay, Jerry feels this way, and you're going to need money to pay other players. They got it. Well, we rework maybe a signing bonus, a couple more guaranteeds, get a few more $1 million in there, and see if you can be happy. Because you're always going to have negotiations. You're always going to have players asking for more money. You know it's impossible to give every single player that extension and the money they want, but certain players, especially when it's one of your best offensive linemen on a position or a position group that you have to have working to also be competitive in the NFL, feels like, signing bonus, moving some money around to where it doesn't take a huge cap hit, probably gets this done.
So do you think the amount of money that is going around the NFL or NBA players, right? The amount of money that those guys are getting, do you think that's filtering into the conversation with the NBA? Like they're seeing Jaylen Brown get $300 million for 5 years? Is that what it was? $306 million for 5 years, right? Do you think that's filtering into this conversation at all?
I'm sure they notice it, but that's not the same math you're working with.
So I just did the math, okay? First of all, NFL rosters are 53 men on the main roster plus. Does taxi squad salaries go towards salary cap? Do you know? I don't know how that works, right? When you're saying salary cap, is it just a 53-man roster?
Just 53, yeah.
All right. And I divided the NBA salary cap by 14. Is that fair? So the NBA salary cap is $136.021 million. The NFL is almost double at $224.8 million. All right, 136 and 136 it's not even quite double. All right, actually, it's not even nearly quite double. So the average, if you just average, I did the NFL salary cap by 53 players. The average salary would be $4.24 million. I did the NBA salary cap divided by 14. The average is $9.068 million. So that is more than double, right? Just if you put the average salary, if you just took the salary cap divided by how many players are on your roster, so just because the makeup of the game, the NBA salary cap is more than double what the NFL guys are. I'm listening to these owners now, and JJ, I don't know if they got a choice. I hear the players, I want mine, I want mine, I want mine. My career's short, it's dangerous, it's violent. I get it. I everybody wants more money. Like Jerry said the other day, he said he wants more money. We all should want more money. You're underpaid, I'm underpaid, he's underpaid, we're all underpaid. Everybody except for Stephen A. Smith is underpaid.
Zach Martin's not underpaid, though. He has the second richest contract for a guard.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not put that in. Help me here.
Okay, so his deal's for $84 million. $40 million is guaranteed.
So he already got it all up front, and so what he's getting now is why he's underpaid.
Right, because Chris Lindstrom just signed a deal for just over $20 million a year. So
how come that story is not told? It's not told in that context.
That's a good question because you look at him, he is not underpaid. He comes up on Sport Track is what I use for a lot of the contracts.
Yeah,
He's
really
the number
good.
2 highest paid guard in the league.
You feel any different about that now?
No.
All right. So just give the man his money?
That's not what I said.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
You have to be careful with these battles because I get it. As I said, you can't pay every guy everything, this or that, but you still have to have a good relationship. People still have to believe in you. Jerry Jones isn't wrong. Michael Parsons can get paid more than anyone else. Like Mike Parsons is the dude that's going to get more guaranteed money than Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also you need to pick and choose your battles. And there's certain positions that I'm sitting down with Zach Martin. I'm having that exact.
You got your money, dude.
You got your money, but also 2 years left. Do you want to? Like, how do you feel about where he is? Do you think it's 2 years and then he's done? Do you think Zach Martin can be a piece to the puzzle for for maybe 4 more years? So this is an opportunity to where you could rework a deal that you get him on your team longer. You convert that money to, say, a signing bonus to where it's happy, and you also get him on your roster. So it opens the door to have another conversation instead of just where this lands for a lot of people. And I think where it gets lost is like the way you said. It's like you got your guaranteed money, move on. But the way I want to look at it is, okay, is this just 2 more years and is he done? Could you get him for 4?
So could you extend him? And then
can you extend him, give him that roster bonus? Doesn't affect the cap. Like, what's the business moving forward as opposed to just always looking at this going, well, the dude's making $10 million. Shut up and move on.
All right, I'm going to play old man on you. And I know the answer is, well, I let me play it out. I know what the answer is. Dude, you signed a contract. You agreed to the terms of the contract. You've taken all that upfront money. Go to work. Now, the other side of that the conversation is, well, in the NFL, contracts are relatively one-sided, that they're nothing's guaranteed, but that's why he got all that money up front. I mean, is there something to you sign a contract, you agreed to it, you love that longevity, you love the relative security of it? I don't know. Where do you guys come in on that? Oh, well, the market's changed. Oh, he's still one of the best. Oh, somebody's making more than him. Oh, he's only making 13.5 over the next 2 years. But the perspective is, well, really, but he got that $40 million up front or whatever it was. I mean, where do you guys come out on the well, you signed a contract, dude.
I'm with you. I really, you signed the contract, you got a very large deal, which at the time was the number 1 deal. I have a very tough time. And I definitely understand, JJ, what you're saying too. It's you have to be looking forward, but man, he got a good deal. He got a really good deal. So I'm with you on this one, Jeff. That he signed the contract. You got the best deal out there. Like, don't sign a 5-year deal if 3 years down the way you're going to change your mind.
Yeah. All right. Did I say it's the final day of August?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I was wrong. Hey, there you go. 512. I was absolutely wrong. No, I secede to your opinion because your opinion is fact. I misspoke. Tomorrow's the first day of August. Today's the last day of July.
I thought we were skipping August.
No, that's what he said. It's the final day of August, says you? Did I miss a month and a birthday? Or are your facts wrong? Yeah, my facts are wrong. I misspoke. There you go. Put it on tape for yourself. I was wrong. You, 512, were right. How about that? If I misspoke, I mean, obviously, I think I know what month it is. Although I'm not sure what month it is. I don't even know what damn day it is, dude. All right. Cowboy fan, what do you want to do with it? Cowboy fan, where are you? Do you want Jerry to pay him? There's a salary cap. It's $224.8 million. Zach's getting like 50 of it. I mean, not Zach. I mean, Dak. Because that's a different dude.
And I actually think this is a good opportunity because Zach Martin he's 33 years old this season, so he's not like over the hill. And we're seeing offensive linemen too kind of extend their careers, especially on the interior, be able to play longer. While you're not going to go out there and give him the biggest contract at the position because Jerry Jones just said he's not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's an opportunity to look at the upcoming years, maybe even get a better cap hit with a year or two added to a deal, convert some of that money to a signing bonus so it doesn't hit the cap and make it work. Because that is one position. All right, I'm listening to you, man. You want to be under contract 4 more years? You want to finish your career out as a Dallas Cowboy? Let's have some give and take in this conversation moving forward.
It's interesting, isn't it? All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Cowboy fan, I'm really, really interested in what you want to do with this. How do you feel about it? Are you worried about it? Is this something that concerns you, or you're like, whatever, man, he's going to play. He's going to get his money. And now that you put it in that perspective, and DC, I appreciate that, because I'm not sure I know I didn't, and I'm not sure most people knew. He already got his money. He's not horribly underpaid. The narrative been, well, I mean, he's one of the best, but he's only got $13.5 million left over the next 2 years, and this guy's making $20 million. Yeah, but dude got it all up front. You don't get to get it all up front again. It's not as one-sided as it sounds. He is one of the best. He absolutely is. Meanwhile, Zeke's living in the shadows. Ezekiel Elliott's hanging around. Could he be a Cowboy again? Like as if he never left? We're going to have that conversation of what that would mean, and should they do that? That's coming up next. Sadly, our town is known for a lot of things, but not safety, not security, not being the safest place. So you got to do something about it, protect yourself, and that's why I suggest you call IPS, International Protective Service. Aaron Jones, who was just here the other day, I was over on Bob Clark's show, saw him. You got to meet him the other day. He started IPS years ago, and his business is to protect homes and businesses all over the bordercade. Now he's looking for some help. If you are a former or retired police officer, if you have military or security experience, and you want to make our city a better place to live and work, he's asking you to fill out an application at ipsglobal.com. They've got world-class professionals who will train you to handle almost any situation. You will work for a great company, and you will make a difference in our community. Call them at 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better place to live and work.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
With all due respect, he didn't have a horrible year last year. Now, he was not a bell cow number one back last year, but he could fit in a lot of places. How about this one? And I know you're going to tell me that J.K. Dobbins is the guy, but J.K. Dobbins is always hurt. How about throwing him in the middle of that backfield with Gus Edwards and Melvin Gordon and J.K. Dobbins in Baltimore?
Ooh, that is a scary thought.
Who relies more on the run than them? To your point, put him somewhere where he doesn't have to be the guy that is a contender. I'm going to throw a really weird one at you. And I don't think this one happens. But Detroit, they got a rookie in David Montgomery. Are they set? I don't know you're ever set at running back.
They feel like they have a good one, though, with their rookie.
All right. Seattle's banged up. Everybody's hurt in Seattle right now.
That would be an interesting spot.
Right?
They really would.
I think
'cause you're right.
Seattle's good. Kenneth Walker's hurt. Zach Charbonnet is hurt. Like, what about there?
He would fit in well. I could see a situation also where maybe he waits and sees if someone gets injured early season, maybe 4 or 5, week 6, something like that. And
I think you don't think he'll sign by opening day?
I just feel like if he was going to, he already would have. I thought when he went to see the Patriots, I figured we'd hear about him getting a contract.
Patriots are getting someone, aren't they? They're getting Dalvin Cook or him.
You would think so, but like, why haven't they already?
I don't know the answer. And they've got Ramondre Stevenson, which another guy people really like, which, okay, I think he's good. And I think it just feeds the conversation. You keep feeding the guy and give him enough, good running backs are going to get theirs, right? But who's behind him? Ty Montgomery, Pierre Strong, Kevin Harris? Do you know those guys?
Ty Montgomery, but the others are new to me.
Ramondre Stevenson is nice. He had over 1,000 yards last year. 210 carries. How many touchdowns do you think Ramondre Stevenson scored on the ground?
5.
1.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You're right. Your number's right. 5. One receiving. 5. So Zeke fits there. Give me a goal line back. Give me a short yardage back. Because that's what he is now, right?
You would think that he's probably going to be, short yardage, maybe 150 carries.
He's a $2 million guy. Is that about the right number? $2 million for 1 year. Go do my short yardage. There's a value to that.
Man, that changes the running back.
Especially with
so
Mac
much.
Jones. Right? Especially with Mac Jones as your quarterback. If I got Patrick Mahomes, I don't need you as much. If I got Lamar Jackson, if I got Josh Allen, I don't need you as much, right? Where else do you like him? Buffalo? I just said I don't need him as much if you're Josh Allen, but I mean, I don't know. One thing they haven't really had, and kind of again, it's James Cook and Damian Harris. Latavius Murray's there though. Latavius Murray might be the best short down back in the league over the last 5 years. It just bounces from team to team. He fits. JJ, your point is, and I'm kind of proving it without realizing I'm proving it. He kind of fits anywhere, doesn't he?
Yes, it's the running backs are really valuable. They're important pieces to the offense. But the way the game is played, there are also pieces that because they get so much action, they get hurt. And thus we're in this weird part of you want these guys, you like these guys, but you want to pay these guys.
You need them.
You need these guys. And if you were to sign someone for $2 million, that'd make him the... Oh my goodness, you'd have to scroll. He'd be down there with Travis Homer. Zach Charbonnet is making $1.7 million.
So, I mean, tell me. I just threw a number out. Give me what do you think?
That would make sense.
What do you think Zeke's worth?
He'd be making more annually than Jonathan Taylor. But we can't pay Jonathan Taylor.
Because he's got a bad back. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Omar says, sounded good as Coach Jones, I thought. He said, I thought Jerry came on the OD for the 15th anniversary. All right, see? Well, Ed. He does say a lot. Well, yeah, no, I know quarterbacks, they like to make all the money. It's not that bad.
No, I like it. I'm back here laughing.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. I'll work on it.
I got to tell you, though, when you brought up the Bengals with Elliott, that makes a ton of sense, especially with this Burrow deal.
Well, and they lost Samaje Perine, right? He's playing with your team, isn't he?
Yes. So that's a really, really interesting one that if they're going to have to kind of change their game plan the first maybe 4 weeks or so because of the calf, if you can really rely on that run game and avoid taking unnecessarily losses that might have been wins otherwise, like that is a really, really interesting fit.
Well, here's who's behind Joe Mixon. Chase Brown, Travion Williams, and Chris Evans. Now, look, there may be a stud in that bunch. I don't know. Chase Brown is a rookie out of Illinois. He was a fifth round pick. He's number 2 on your depth chart. Travion Williams is a third year guy, 6th round pick out of Texas A&M, who has carried the ball 47 times in his career. And then the guy behind him is a guy named Chris Evans, who is a 2nd round guy who has 17 carries out of Michigan. That's what you got behind Joe Mixon. Has he been sniffing around? Has Cincinnati been sniffing around him?
Not that I've heard, but I mean, the injury is new, so I'm sure we're going to get some news.
What injury? Burrows?
Yeah, the calf injury.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, because that can be a lingering type of injury, I could definitely see them coming up on the radar for some of these free agents.
It's interesting, right?
It's very, very interesting. That him going down, it's crazy how much that changes the whole league, really.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Bengals are one of those front runners, and wow, that changes fantasy football, everything.
Yeah, we'll see how bad that injury is. All right. Bad Street said Lancer was the answer, Jeff. Maybe there is hope that one day we will once again hear from one-time legendary callers like JB, not my Mondo, not your Mondo, our Mondo, Red Raider Troy. Ooh, I haven't heard from Troy in a while. And we really need a trip down Candelaria Boulevard. I heard from Jeffrey the other day, about 2 weeks ago. When did I, you know what, Jeffrey used to be a caller on our show a lot. Used to call all the time, very cerebral gentleman. He called me at the office. Oh, you know what it was? When I got my appointment to the executive committee on bowl season, he called to congratulate me, and we had a good conversation. So he is still around Bad Street, just so you know. Look, man, all the legends are coming out too. All right, when we come back, this guy's a legend in his own right. In fact, they have had 3 coaches in Pittsburgh in the last 4 decades. 3. I want you to think of that. And then think how many the Cleveland Browns have had this month. No, wait, that's not right. But is his time coming to an end in Pittsburgh? Is this it for Mike Tomlin? Tell you why that is a prevalent thought and why it might come to fruition and why it would be a horrible move by the Steelers. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We're working.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
Kind of crazy, man. When you look at franchises and you look at the way things are run, right? And you say, how many coaches, like if I said to you, who is the coach? You think of teams, you think of coaches, right? Like franchises, and it's probably the era in which you grew up, right? If I said who Green Bay Packers all-time great coach, you'd probably tell me Lombardi, or you'd tell me Holmgren, right? If you grew up in that era, or whatever. If I said Cowboys, you'd say Landry, or you'd say whoever, right? Who would you say after that?
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, right? Say Cleveland Browns, you're like, I don't know, man. Cincinnati Bengals, I had no idea, right? Pittsburgh Steelers, you got three dudes. Chuck Noll forever, Mike Tomlin forever, Bill Cowher forever, and now Mike Tomlin. Is Tomlin coming to win? He's got 2 years left on his contract. The Steelers say they do not intend to extend it this year. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette is reporting that Tomlin said on Wednesday, quote, I have not thought about it. I'm just in a stage of my career where I don't care about contracts, to be honest with you. I acknowledge that I've seen more days than I'm going to see, you know. That's just the nature of this thing. End quote. He's 51 years old. He's only 51, dude. 17th year doing that, he's only 51. As a head coach. I think it's one thing to do 15 years and be as young as I am doing radio. But to be a head coach that young? Think of that. It's the second longest tenured coach with the same team. His teams have never had a losing season. They've been to 10 playoffs. They've won a Super Bowl. Oh, but they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Give me three coaches you think are better than him. I'm listening. That's why it would be a bad move. I'm just telling you, you may get tired doing the same thing, and you may get tired, well, we haven't won a playoff game since 2016. And I understand the standard there as opposed to, I don't know, Cleveland. Right? He's winning with, who was his quarterback last year? Kenny Pickett and who? Mitch Trubisky? Winning season. He did it with a beat-up Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, does anybody ever sit there and tell you, well, yeah, but the Steelers have one of the most talented rosters in the league? Ever? Do you ever hear that? Ever.
No. They say it about the defense.
They have a good defense. Give me three better coaches. I'm listening. Who's better?
And is Mike Tomlin just as good if you gave him, say, the quarterback? Because a lot of people, what's coming to your mind? Andy Reid?
No, that's right.
Bill Belichick.
Okay, that's two.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin's right there. And this is one where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've really started to invest in the offensive skill position over the last few years. They have a legit tight end. Young running back who's not going to get paid, but at least you can use him for a couple more years. Some wide receivers on the outside.
I think a good wide receiver. I think both Deontay Johnson and Pickens
can Pickett be Derek Carr level quarterback where you continue to be consistent, have an opportunity to go to the playoffs? Because they do have the fourth best quarterback in that division. That's going to be the challenge.
Well, they've got, to me, one of the biggest question marks in the league at quarterback. Top 5. And it might even be like number one biggest question mark situation to me is Washington with Sam Howell. Do you got a bigger question mark? San Francisco's question mark, who's it going to be? But I got faith that one of those 3 guys is a decent quarterback. Purdy, Lance, Darnold, right? I got faith in that. But I look at the quarterback situations in the most, I think Washington is number 1. And then you can throw these 3 teams into a mix and tell me who you think has got a tougher, more unsettled situation. And to me, it's Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Pittsburgh, right? Tampa Bay's throwing Baker Mayfield out there, trying to resurrect that thing. And then Pittsburgh's got 2 non-first-round guys who are in their second year that they say that they like, in Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett. And look, one of them may end up being great.
There's no. The question is just: is Kenny Pickett going to be good or not?
That's kind of what I'm saying.
There's no unknown. Like, he's your starting.
Well, the unknown is he going to be good. No, I get that, but the unknown is he good enough to be that guy? No, I get that. He's your guy. He's going in. He's your guy. It's not going to be Mitchell Trubisky or Mason Rudolph. We've already played this game. No, I am aware of that. Desmond Ridder's the guy down in Atlanta too. Do you believe in it? You go and draft either one of those guys your fantasy football league team?
I would actually consider Pickett late as a backup, someone to hold over. And then that's just fantasy.
Right.
I read a really, really good article on Pickett this weekend. He has won over that team. Last year, they were saying they weren't sure if he could do it.
Yeah.
They had questions about his skill set. Those questions are gone.
I'm rooting for that guy.
I am too. I'll show you this article. When you read it, he is a gentleman. He handles the media very well. The people out there like him.
You know why I like it? I love dudes who he can't do it. And when they went off on his hand size, in I don't know, I got eyes. Did you watch?
Small hands, Pickett.
That's right.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, little digit Kenny. Yeah. Did you watch him in college? Did you watch him throw the football? Did you watch what he did? I don't know. We get into this. You know how I feel about the Underwear Olympics now, right? You know how I feel about this combine. All of a sudden, everything I just watched for 3 years in college, yeah, but he's 0.2 of a second a little slower than the other guy in the 40. Or his vertical isn't, what do I care? He's a damn guard. I give a crap how high he can jump? All of a sudden, we start dissecting his hand size and everything else. That's why I'm rooting for this guy. Because everything I've heard about him is he's a gentleman. He handles things, he handles his business. He's a hard-working, blue-collar guy from Western PA that went to school there, got drafted by the hometown team. He could end up being a freaking legend in that town.
Totally.
A town that loves their legends.
Totally. And he fits in with the culture out there so well.
Oh,
that's kind of why I think Tomlin stays with the Pickett.
He's got nowhere to go right now.
True, very true. But yeah, if Pickett comes out and plays well, they will extend Tomlin, and they'll ride that one out.
So you think his future, his extension, is tied to how Kenny Pickett plays?
To a certain extent, yes.
Okay, all right. Where would they go? Let's just say you're the Rooney family. They still on that team, right?
I believe so, but that's a good question.
Yeah, whoever the Rooney family is. And I go 9-8 this year and 9-8 next year, and maybe make the playoffs one year and don't the next year, and he's up. You tell me what I'm doing to upgrade that position. I'm listening. Like who's going to Pittsburgh? Urban Meyer? It's cute.
No, it's probably some coordinator.
Is it Brian Day from Ohio State? Is that what you're doing? You're finding a college coach?
I'm not. To fill the Steelers, no, it'd have to be a big name, and it would have to be very impactful.
Well, Brian Day's a big Ryan Day is a big name from Ohio State. But where are you going? Do you disagree with me on the Atlanta and Pittsburgh situations are very similar, quarterback-wise?
No, they're very similar. You're right about that.
I think there's more belief in Kenny Pickett. It's a little bit bigger sample size and everything you just laid out. There's a buy-in from the locker room. They were on the field with that guy last year. And now Desmond Ridder threw some passes. And I think Desmond Ridder, though, what's really interesting about Kenny Pickett and Desmond Ridder is they are in position to succeed because those offenses are not built through them. They're built around them.
They both got good running backs. I mean, that's what Atlanta went out and did is when it got him.
Because Arthur Smith came from Tennessee. What did they do in Tennessee?
Well, they ran the ball. Yeah. But I think Drake London is terrific. So I think he's got a really good number one receiver who's going to be great. They went out and got him a running back. Hell, they had two decent backs behind him. I thought Algier and Cordell, people bag on Cordero Patterson. He's had 2 nice years.
They have done really great things with Cordell Patterson. He, starting as a kick returner and receiver, had some problems with his hands. Like the way they've made this hybrid position for him,
yeah,
it's awesome.
I think, and Algier was
he's a starter. That's why the Bijan Robinson thing is interesting because they have a stout backfield.
They thought they got a stud, right? Drake London was number 1 pick last year. No, this is on Desmond Ridder now. I mean, this is all. So last year he had a 63.5% completion rate. I guess he only threw 115 passes. I forget, Marcus Mariota was the quarterback most of the way, and then they didn't throw the ball when they put him in there. 3rd round pick out of Cincinnati. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, 9 o'clock this morning, we're going to have a conversation with Doug Brumfield, the quarterback of UNLV, who is, I don't know, maybe next year we're talking about him, where he's going to be in the NFL. He's the best NFL prospect at quarterback in the Mountain West Conference. I think you'll like his story. And why did he stay at UNLV? Coaching change. He's been injured. He had opportunity. We'll talk to him about why he stayed at UNLV, and I think you're going to really, really enjoy that conversation. How do the Bengals stay alive? How do they stay active and moving forward without Joe Burrow? Tell you next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
No Joe. What do you know, bro? But yeah, at least not for now. So Joe Burrow will miss several weeks, right calf strain. Jamar Chase told reporters it was good to see him around the locker room, even if a quarterback needed a crutch or a scooter to get around. How do they stay relevant and good and grow without Joe Burrow? Well, they will, because they are really good and deep. Who's their backup? Trevor Siemian. Then Jake Browning. Do you know who Jake Browning is? Quarterback from Washington. Several weeks means what to you? 6, 5, 4, 3, 12? My gut tells me Joe Burrow is going to be ready for the regular season. Doesn't yours?
Stepping out there September 10th at Cleveland.
Calf strain. And look, I'm not going to minimize anybody's injury. I mean, I got a little, pulled muscle in my calf, and it hurt, when I bend down to read a putt. But I'll be ready for opening day, damn it. Calf strain. How do they stay relevant? Well, can they win that division without Joe Burrow? They cannot. They cannot. If you're going to tell me it's going to be Trevor Siemian, but they open up with Cleveland, Baltimore, the Rams, and Tennessee.
First 2 games, great schedule. At Cleveland versus Ravens, division battles right out of the gate. And I like how the schedule sets up for a lot of these teams. It's really interesting. I know DC brought this up when we were discussing some of this stuff. I like the early and then the late division games. Because you get that taste, you're still figuring out who you are in the season, playing those division battles, and then the games that really count in the final few weeks of the season. And that's exactly...
I love to play division games late.
...the schedule for Cincinnati. And we understand the unknown is the timetable on it. What does several weeks mean? Is it several weeks before he can resume
Is
activities?
there a more vague term than several?
Because it's not. Because if it's several weeks before he's back on the practice field, that then puts him starting the season in doubt. In those first 2 games.
How much do you think he needs? I mean, if he's doing
If he's on the
cardio-
field, he's fine.
Right, that's my thought.
But-
If you give him a week, if you give him game week prep, do you think he's okay? Look, they're going to be behind. There's a reason you do camp. Like there is. Yeah. There's a reason that you have 6 weeks of training camp. There is a value to it. And is there more of a value for Aaron Rodgers working with these new guys than Joe Burrow working with guys he's familiar with? Yeah, there is. There's a reason Joe Burrow goes to camp. There's a reason veterans go to camp. There's a reason they do this. There's a value. But if there's a guy right now, he's one of them that I can say, all right, if he's got to miss camp and I only get him for 2 weeks or game prep, I don't need Joe Burrow giving me an exhibition game against the Jets.
You're confident, but it's the giant unknown of how severe it is, how long it is going to keep him out. Because I don't think the Rams, that's not a gimme if Joe Burrow is not the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals in week 3. But the thing with Joe Burrow is you avoided what seems to be what was the initial scare of Achilles.
Yeah, that's a problem if that's it. Because the calf and the Achilles are so close.
Calf injury. This is a team that could still get off to a slow start, get Joe Burrow healthy, and still be challenging to win the AFC.
Yeah, that's right. All right, text line is 505-246-0610. That's also the phone line here at the Sports Animal, your home for the National Football League. Looking forward to being that again this year as we have been for so many years. Text line says it will not be Mac in New England. Zappy is going to win that job. You believe Bailey? Is that job even open right now?
I didn't think it was.
I don't know that I fully disagree that Bailey Zappi could be better than Mac Jones. I don't know that I've seen enough of either one of those guys to fully disagree that. But I think Mac Jones will be the guy to get started.
Feels like it could be a quick move to Bailey Zappi if they don't start out well. Sluggish start for Mac Jones in their offense.
All right, 512 says on the text line, the 7512 doesn't either podcast, stream, app, or social media. All right. But he says, otherwise, how about them Arizona Wildcats planning to depart the Pac-12 for the Big 12? Does that make it the Pac-8 and the Big 15? Well, if you're going by numbers, it would, it could be the Pac-8 as of soon, or it could be, but we haven't even gotten into all everything that happened over the weekend in college. Arizona could bolt any day now, huh? Is that kind of what we're hearing out of there, that the Pac-12 is looking, but by the same token, the Pac-12 could invite San Diego State today.
And how are they making that move?
Well, they're either waiting 2 years or they're getting help on their exit fee.
Yeah. And if you're San Diego State, I don't see a net positive at all to wait 2 years for what that league could look like.
Well, if they secure what it's going to look like, and then it's going to be about the television dollars, right? So if they say SMU and San Diego State are going in and everybody's staying, but see, you don't know if everybody's staying. That's why the absolute insecurity there. They have got to get their TV deal done and their granted rights. And I don't know enough about why it's taken so long. All I know is it's a bad look on George Kliavkoff. It's a bad look for everybody, and everybody in that league is nervous. And if anybody tells you they're not, whether it's Stanford or Oregon or Washington or Arizona or any of them, yeah, they are. Because Colorado's not going to destroy that league leaving. It makes it a little shakier. Arizona leaves, not destroying it, but way shakier. One more, you may have to clean up the Jenga and start over again. When we return, a conversation you're going to like. Doug Brumfield is really an interesting cat, really gregarious, and quarterback, as JJ said, with the highest ceiling in the Mountain West Conference. He's UNLV's quarterback. We're going to have that conversation with him next. UNLV could be that surprise team in this league. Some people, they got a first place vote in the preseason poll. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
I'm Ryan Ranke with NFL Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Camps are open. Lobos will start football camp on Thursday. The season opener against Texas A&M coming up about 33 days away. Danny would know the numbers exactly. We were in Vegas 2 weeks ago. JJ and I were. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on a Monday morning on The Sports Animal. Final day of July, not August. July. Tomorrow will be August. So, JJ, we had a lot of conversations. This young man was someone actually I really was looking forward to talking to, because we've watched from afar, and the talent is obvious every time he plays. His problem has been injuries.
Absolutely, just stand on the field.
Doug Brumfield would probably have been the preseason conference player of the year, or at least the number one quarterback on the all-conference team. That is Chevan Cordero of San Jose State, who you heard last week. But Doug Brumfield is probably the guy, if you said, who's got the highest ceiling, which quarterback is the best pro prospect, it would be him. Here's our conversation with UNLV's quarterback, Doug Brumfield.
Well, there's great quarterbacks in this league. There's great athletes, and one of the great athletes and quarterbacks is the guy that's sitting across from us, UNLV quarterback Doug Brumfield. Good to see you. How you feeling? Are you healthy? Because really, first and foremost, that's what it comes down to with you, huh?
I'm feeling great. Been focusing on my health this offseason with my prehab and rehab, just getting in there with my strength coach, Coach Fish, focusing on strengthening the muscles that you normally don't use or strengthen.
What does that mean? Like when you say, I hear that a lot. I didn't know I had muscles like that. What are we talking about?
So it's really like movements, so awkward movements that normally happen by accident or cause injuries. You want to get in those movements and stretch your body so it gets used to moving like that. So when you get in a game and you may fall awkward or something, your body's already used to it because you didn't stress those muscles to move like that and to react a certain way when it happens.
Yeah, for you, it really is all about staying healthy, isn't it? You've been spectacular when you're healthy. Unfortunately for you, you've had bad luck.
Yeah. Really, just that's been my biggest thing this offseason, just being able to be available for every game that we got on the schedule.
When you look at this, and UNLV had a terrific start last year. I know y'all were talking about a bowl game, and the game it didn't end the way you wanted it to end. Motivating? Is it bum you out? Guys leave? What's the feeling after a season like that where you were so close to turning this thing around?
Immediately after the season, it was kind of, discouraging. It was like, okay, dang, we did everything that we could. We fell a little short, but we got our new coaching staff and everything, and it just became motivation. I felt like we were missing one thing last year, and I feel like it was consistency. And I feel like this coaching staff is really focusing on us being consistent and being available every game and just being able to go out there and play.
6'6", 225. Has it always been quarterback for you?
No. So my original position growing up, I played DN and tight end growing up. And then I played DN actually until my sophomore year in high school. I stopped playing. I played my freshman year DN and quarterback. And then my coach Aldenberg, he was like, my starting quarterback's not playing DN. So, I just stuck with QB.
What was that like for you, just getting that experience, even at the high school level, playing defense? How did that help you as just an overall football player?
It definitely makes me more aggressive. Sometimes I feel like that's my downfall. I don't look at guys and think, oh, yeah, I'm going to slide. I think I'm going to run through this guy or I'm going to push him out my way. I feel like it just makes me more aggressive overall.
You had the opportunity to be a counselor at the Manning Passing Academy. What was that experience like? And then, when you get that phone call, how do you react to that?
Oh, it was amazing. Having Archie Manning call you and just a great like that, and then the father to even greater Hall of Famers like that, it's amazing. And then going to actually meet these people in person, they know your name. You're not just another guy that they pick. They know your name and they know your history, and they really want to have regular conversations with you and take pictures with you. I was walking out of my dorm at the camp, and Peyton was like, "Hey, Doug, let's take this picture real quick." So
Really?
So I can send it to your coach. And I'm like,
and you're looking around, wait with me?
I'm like, wow, okay. But it was a great experience to go out there and learn from those guys on the football level, and then being able to mentor the younger kids out there. That was a great experience too. It also helped my leadership, being able to be vocal and control a larger group of kids.
Doug Brumfield is UNLV's quarterback. It's interesting what you learned from those guys, and I think your position, maybe more than any in this game, can be more mental than physical, right? And if you're able to put your athleticism together with superior knowledge, which is the Manning's game, right? Maybe they weren't the most athletic, and I think they would tell you that, but they were so good because they could read defenses. They knew what was coming. They were one step ahead. if you can put it all together, man, you've got it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was the major goal, to leave that camp with some knowledge that I didn't have before. You know, Peyton did a seminar where he talked about how you should study and go about your week and how you should do extra work and just making every moment like a game. You know, if you're just out there with a few receivers running a few routes, don't just go through the tree just to get a couple balls in the air. Like, treat it like it's a game rep, you know, create angles, simulate pressure, you know, just make it as close to a game as possible.
Yeah.
You know, that definitely helped me this offseason.
UNLV's quarterback Doug Brumfield's with us, and UNLV picked 9th in the media poll, whatever that means. You guys, you mentioned the coaching change. I was surprised, but I think JJ was too, when UNLV decided to make a coaching change. I'm not asking for an editorial on it from you, but was it a shock in your locker room? Did you guys expect that?
So we expected something like that before the Reno game.
Yeah.
But after we won that game and got the cannon back, we were like, okay, you know, everything's good. And on that Monday, we were going to go paint the cannon on campus with, you know, the city came out to see everything, and then that fired coach. And we were like, oh, okay, so are we still going to go do this? And
Did you?
then we went, but none of the coaches could go. So it was a little weird going to the ceremony with no coaches, and like the attention was no longer on the cannon. It was about the coaches firing, and everybody wanted to know about that. And, you know, I really didn't stay too long. You know, I stayed long enough to put some paint on the cannon, and then I kind of got out of there because it was just a little overwhelming what everyone wanted to know about the coaching
Did you think about transferring?
There was some great moments where I wasn't sure, you know, if who they were going to bring in was somebody that I can trust. But, you know, we brought in Coach Odom, and more than willing to go out there and lay my life on the line.
People seem to love him.
Yeah, he's a great individual. When you hear him speak, it makes you want to run through a brick wall. Like, you know, like he's a great coach.
Because you got to come in and re-win. He's got to re-recruit his whole team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was his biggest thing. You know, he brought in a core group of leaders when he first got here, and he was like, hey, you know, you're my guys, you know, you guys are my guys. I'm not looking to bring in a whole bunch of guys and replace all you guys. Like, you are my core group, you know, and I want you guys to focus on keeping your brothers together. You know, he made that message pretty clear early on, and we tried our best to do that.
Doug Brumfield, a few more minutes, UNLV's quarterback. Sports in the city, the whole landscape has really changed over the last decade and even in the last 5 years. You know, when I was doing this 10 years ago, UNLV was the show. Now you're a show, right? Yeah. I mean, there's the Raiders and there's the Golden Knights, and the A's are coming, and you're getting Super Bowls and everything else. Where does UNLV football fit into it, and how does that play into how you guys are and react as a team?
I feel like we have the opportunity to be the biggest show in the city. You know, speaking from my own personal opinion, you know, I feel like college football is the most entertaining sport there is in the world. So when you got a good team in the city like Las Vegas, it's hard not to want to come out to the game. So I feel like the city's just waiting on us to peak to the top.
Doug, for you, where do you think you've grown the most? Is it on the field, off the field, with everything that you've experienced in your collegiate career? From the kid that walked on the campus to the guy that's sitting here right now, what do you think's been the biggest wow for you?
Definitely maturity. You know, unfortunately, I did miss a lot of time due to injuries, but I feel like that gave me the opportunity to sit back and see the game from a different perspective. You know, I never really got the chance to sit behind somebody and really go through a whole season and game by game and just see how to execute and everything. But when I was hurt, I really got to sit back and watch our offense from the coach's view. I can see how they see it, and I also seen it as a quarterback, and it just helped me grow and mature into a better quarterback and leader.
You look, and you're the first Rebel to be on a preseason All Mountain West list since 2000. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you, but also what do you want to prove?
Quick question. Who was the last Rebel?
Jason Thomas.
Jason Thomas played in high school with my dad.
Oh, really?
They were high school teammates.
No.
Yeah, and his oldest brother is my cousin's father.
So that puts the whole time into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they played in high school together.
So it means even more to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've known Jason my whole life.
That's insanity.
Crazy.
Hey,
but
lastly, before we get you out on this, you're a guy I know who's got thoughts of playing after college.
Yes, sir.
You're an incredible athlete. In how much thought do you give playing in the NFL? How much conversation do you have about that? How much of what you do is geared towards that, or is it more about winning for UNLV this season?
You know, it kind of all correlates. You know, if we win, it's hard not to
think
about the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, you know, with my attributes and my ability, I feel like most teams are just looking for if I can stay healthy and if we can win, and I'm not only close to NFL. Like I just want to play ball, and I would love to travel the world, get an opportunity to play overseas somewhere, maybe for a couple weeks or a month or so, and just to see the world and through football. Football has got me to places that I've never been before.
As a quarterback, to put up the numbers, you got to have playmakers. You got some receivers now. And it's got to make you smile to know I'm going to throw it up there and I got dudes who can go get it.
Yeah, our receiver room is really deep this year. We had a bunch of guys transfer in that's running sub 10-5 times on the field.
Damn.
So we got a bunch of guys, and then we have guys returning like Seneca McKee, Ricky White, guys that can go out there and make plays and execute. It's a real deep receiver room, and they're hungry. As much talent is in the room, it just makes them that much more competitive.
Stay healthy. Have a great season. Stay healthy, and good luck to you and UNLV.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank
you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her.
Hope you enjoyed Doug Brumfield, the quarterback of UNLV. Yeah, he said I thought about moving. Everybody loves that new coach over there, Odom. Huh? Did you spend any time with him? I know we didn't have
No, that
sit down with
was
him.
One of the last interviews I was trying to get and never came down our way.
Yeah, I spent a little time with him in Scottsdale and then a little time with him here. They love him. And I talked to the athletic director there for quite a bit, and we'll see. We'll see what they do. Hobo says UNLV has had hyped quarterbacks going back to Jason Thomas, Jeffy, when Justin Millay went into Allegiant Stadium and kicked the Rebels' arse playing the wing T. Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Because if Brumfield is playing,
yes,
they have the top 3 quarterback in the league. And we talk about highest ceiling, highest potential. You know, Chevin Cordero deserves to be the preseason offensive player of the year because he put it all together. He has the talent, the passing game, his running ability. He is a difference maker. But at the top of the conference heading into this season, it's Taylon Green because of his athletic ability at Boise State and an offense that's going to be tailored to him now going into this season, Cordero and Brumfield.
So what's going on in college athletics? This is kind of a good lead into what's the latest with the Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, all that. I've got stories that are staring at me. Here's what Pac-12 is going to do. They're going to get San Diego State and SMU. The Big 12 is going to get Arizona and Arizona State. I got stories all over the place. I looked at on the. Am I calling it Twitter now? Is it X? What the hell is it now?
Well, it still says Twitter if you log into the website.
Does it? Mine says
Twitter.com.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. I woke up the other morning. I'm like, what happened to my Twitter app? It was gone, and it just turned into X. Doug Gottlieb, CBS Sports, tweeted this morning. The Big 10 seems like they're going to let the Big 12 deliver the kill shot to the Pac-12, and the winner could be the Mountain West. Not sure I know what that means. Do you?
Is it the assumption that the Big 12 is going to land Utah at the Arizona schools, and then that forces the hand of, say, Oregon and Washington to really
do something,
try to see if they could pull something out of the Big 10?
What does a Pac-12 look like without the 4 corner schools? Is there and I asked you this last week, and I know I asked Eddie Nunez when he was on with us the other day. I've seen everybody's got a model, right? Everybody with thumbs has some sort of a map, right? That they're telling me what's going to look like. And yep. I see too many that exclude New Mexico, right? That have Stanford, Cal, Oregon State, Washington State, and then like San Diego State and SMU and UNLV and Fresno State and Boise State and Colorado State and Air Force. I mean, should we be worried? This is a big football season, isn't it? Or will it all be done before that?
Feels like it's going to be done before that.
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I'm literally watching this thing. I thought the Pac-12 TV deal would be done 2 months ago, and that would have accelerated everything that we're seeing now, and we'd be done by now, or at least done with this cycle, right?
Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about them as kind of the linchpins, the schools that are holding the Pac-12 together. We're obviously seeing that they're not as valuable as we believe they are.
To the Big 12.
But
or to the Big 10, I mean.
You're, say, San Diego State right now. You still feel that a league with them would garner you more television revenue than the Mountain West, which is why that is still hanging out there and people think that jump could be made. I would love just be a fly on the wall right now.
Yeah.
To even like CBS Sports and Fox Sports, because they have a television deal with the Mountain West. It's only 2 more years. So it's not a long window.
That's right.
But, and I just wonder, could they view this as, hey, if we get in here right now and we get those other Pac-12
with who? With the Mountain
board,
West or with the Pac-12?
The Mountain West and Pac-12. Do they try to create some type of league? Because everyone says, oh, you're splitting the money. But if your TV partners are coming to the table, looking at a new landscape, building a brand new deal for you, that's how it could work. Of some gigantic West Coast league, because everything's gigantic these days. And you just need a league to play in, a safe place for your school.
You know, I'm looking at everybody's got a story. Who are the Big 12 looking at? And of course, 4 corner schools, then it's the San Diego State, SMU, UNLV. And then it says, well, who's the Pac-12 looking at? Well, San Diego State and SMU and UNLV. And I don't know, man. So let's say the Pac-12 adds San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, and UNLV. I mean, they're the Mountain West, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm watching this. UNLV is in there simply because of their market. Simply because of the market.
And they don't have anywhere near the pool they did a few years ago because every sport, everyone is already playing games there, going to the Vegas. No one's scared of Las Vegas anymore.
Well, and here's the deal. You're right. Everybody's already in Vegas, right? I mean, how many conference basketball tournaments are in Vegas that don't have a team in Vegas? I don't know. The Pac-12, the Big West, the West Coast Conference, the WAC. Right? The only one there's 5 basketball conference tournaments that are being held in Vegas. Only one of them has got UNLV. Does it matter? You're still going to Vegas. The football program has not been good. And even if they are, what is the appeal of UNLV football? It feels to me like it's more and more of a transient town anyway. People are coming in from California and from the East Coast. Like, how many people are from Vegas that have a tie to UNLV? And how big of a player are they in that market, even if you get them? The Fresno State thing is interesting because of the geography, and they're close to Southern California and they're close to Northern California, and they're getting $250 million to modernize the athletic facilities, and they're all stretching right now. I mean, I'm just telling you, if New Mexico football had been decent over the last decade, you'd be in the conversation because of your footprint and your television market and your basketball program. Not that your basketball program has been all that great over the last decade. When was the last time they were in the NCAA tournament? Right?
So this is one where you're hoping it's a group effort. It's one of the ones that...
If you're who?
If you're in New Mexico, if you're Wyoming, say, hey, we're a part of this as a whole, and then you get into a merger or are able to cooperate with other schools, as opposed to what it's been in the past, which has been all about the individual schools jumping, like what San Diego State has been trying to do.
San Diego State take the first offer that's presented at this point. If the Big 12 came first before the Pac-12, even though they'd want the Pac-12, they take the first one that's offered, right?
Yes. The Big 12, I take it. The Pac-12, I couldn't say yes to that right now.
Really?
Because if you're going in there, so you're San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
And how you really think you're getting $15-20 million more for a Pac-12 deal with the uncertainty
if that's what the deal is
of what that league looks like? They don't even have anything to present to you. Because what if you say, yes, boom, we're in, we're going, and then you're left with a league that there's 8 of you and your biggest conference games are at Stanford and Cal.
Are you in a worse place than you are right now?
Absolutely.
Why?
If you're in a Pac-8 with no one else.
But if you're getting more money. Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't it all about the money?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's more television money with Stanford and Cal and SMU and Oregon State and Washington State, and I don't know that there is long term. But if that's the case, are you in a better place than playing New Mexico and Wyoming and Reno and making less money?
You're in a better place because money.
And by the way, they will
then
take,
at that point in time, we'll flag you flying. Like San Diego State, awesome, you got money and you're beating Washington
but then
State,
they will
Oregon
take Fresno State and UNLV.
Then how much money do you think you're getting with those schools?
And then the pie gets sliced even thinner. I get it.
$20 million a year to have those schools.
So if you're
in your
getting
conference.
15, is it more than 6?
That's how math works.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's there.
Yeah, and that's why we haven't seen anything happen.
Because they have Oregon and Washington and Arizona and Arizona State, and they can't even get a deal done.
And they can't even get a deal done. They literally can't even get a deal done. All right, Dalvin Cook was in New York visiting the Jets this weekend. Did it get done? Will it get done? Next, opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Dear sports fans, elevate your game to the next level with a Toyota.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Nearly all day Sunday at their training camp. He left their facility, but he didn't sign. So there's still hope for other teams for Dalvin Cook. I would say Dalvin Cook is one of the few difference makers. Like I think Ezekiel Elliott on the market is a good piece. I think Dalvin Cook is one of the few, if not the only, difference maker left in the free agent market.
I need help, Jeff. I'm so confused.
What do you need help
I
with?
don't know what to think about running backs anymore.
No, you need one.
Is it the running back, the running game? where they're not worth it to invest a certain amount of money because they get hurt. That's understandable. But then Dalvin Cook would make this team division favorites. I don't know what to think about running backs.
We still know there's a value in them. We just know their value is what the salary window is for their value, right? I mean, I think Dalvin knows that. He's not going to go make $18 million. He's probably going to make about 6, 7.
And that's what it feels like for Dalvin Cook. He has good teams, interested in him. He's having conversation. Does feel like he's holding out for the best financial offer from those teams, which is absolutely fine because he still is a 27-year-old running back, and these offers are not going to come around all that often.
27 because he's so ancient, right?
All the carries.
Yeah. So that's still there, and that's still going, and that is going to continue. And will he sign soon? I don't know. Dan says, I need to pick the OD's brains if I'm making a deal to carry the OD. I want to make sure I have Jeffrey, I have Juan Jose, and I have Derek Charles. I wouldn't make a media offer with hosts TBD. How is that difference in the pack? I'm with you on that. How are they going out there saying we're looking for a TV deal, but we can't tell our TV partner who's going to be in our league? Hence, there's nothing that's been done, right? Well, I think Dan, your point's 100% dead on. All right, Grady sent an email. It says, Merry Monday, high heat golfers of the OD and the AM. Merry Monday. Let me continue the sentiments of Friday's anniversary show. It was awesome. It was great to be invited to be part of such an occasion. I finally met Rudy C., my guy Josue, the multi-talented Delonte Charles. You know him as DC. You're now Delonte Charles. And my man Terry. All good dudes. No matter how many of these things I attend, I always walk away happy. And I'm grateful to be part of such an unlikely and unusual community. Yes, I said community because, like it or not, that's what we are. And I, for one, fly my sports animal flag proudly. A quick sports take. DC told me to call back at 9 o'clock hour, but your guy has a meeting then. How ironic would it be if NIL is what keeps kids in college longer? The very thing that Sid, Lobo Hobo, and the anonymous hate texters hate the most. The thing that they say is destroying college sports. What if that's the thing that knocks out what they hate second most, kids leaving school early? I'm almost giddy at the possibility. The NCAA commercial that runs during March Madness about how 95% of college athletes will go pro at something else is still as true today as it was when it first aired. And that includes football and men's basketball players. If NIL leads to more kids staying in school longer, I'm all for it. Because more than likely, even the ones that stay only for the money will benefit from more years in college and, wait for it, a degree. To answer JJ's question about why collectives would pay running backs, in my opinion, it's simple. Because one, running backs help college teams win, and two, there's no rookie salary deal that allows collectives to lock up running backs in their primes for cheap. They, the collectives, have to compete for the top talent that help their schools win immediately. And that talent includes running backs. Sending good vibes to JJDC as they have young ones getting ready to head to school, and to the ex-TV guy with a senior in the house. Grady in Santa Fe by way of ABQ. It's good. It's good. Look, I don't think it's arguable right now. The NIL situation is keeping, especially in basketball, keeping athletes in college a little longer.
Yes, it is.
To the irony, to the ire, displeasure maybe of some people. Yeah. I think that's kind of where we're going. You can get in as well, 505-246-0610, or on the email machine, jeff@sportsanimalabbq.com, jj@sportsanimalabbq.com. I want to hit the top story that we hit this morning. Jonathan Taylor, the running back, is he, who's the best running back in the NFL right now? Is it Christian McCaffrey?
RB1.
Is it Jonathan Taylor?
NFL. That.
It's one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Derrick Henry?
Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb.
Josh Jacobs in the conversation? Austin Eckler?
Jonathan Taylor.
All right. He's one of them.
I think best pure running back is Derrick Henry.
All right.
Because he's a semi-truck.
Jonathan Taylor's really good. He's coming off an injury. He wants to be traded. Do you know what prompted the trade request?
An hour-long conversation with Jim Irsay?
That might be. His owner. Yeah. Yeah, it might
this
be.
This guy hates me.
10 minutes talking like, wow, he really doesn't like what I do. He requested a trade from the Colts. He asked for a new contract. Then he went and had his physical. Okay, evidently, and there's conflicting reports on this, he failed his physical. Okay? Well, what do you mean he failed his physical? The Colts, or at least there's a source. This is Stephen Holder at ESPN. There is a source coming out of camp with the Colts that says that Jonathan Taylor reported an injury, a back injury, back pain, during his pre-training camp physical. That injury, that pain, was deemed to be from an injury that was not sustained while playing for Indianapolis. Hence, the team is now considering the non-football injury list, which could result in them not having to pay their guy who doesn't play. He failed his physical. Combination of the previous ankle injury, which had surgery, which was a football injury, and this back injury. Jonathan Taylor tweeted, 1, never had back pain. 2, never reported back pain. Not sure who the sources are, but find new ones. Who am I believing here, dude? All I know is I got a freaking mess with a guy who's one of the best players in the National Football League. Period. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you don't. Whatever. One of the best running backs. Wants a new contract coming up. What's he, 3rd year? 4th year. He wants a new deal. The owner has come out and said, yeah, whatever. He was drafted in 20, 21, 22. This is his 4th year. He's really good. You're the Colts. You trading him? Where's he going? All right. What do you think you can get back for him?
I'm starting with the first-round pick.
Okay.
For a player like that, who's still only 24 years old.
All right. Who wants him? New England? Miami? Who wants him?
I don't know why they would. I mean, they could go out and get Dalvin Cook right now.
For cheaper?
A lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Seattle?
The Seattle thing is really interesting to me because they're so banged up right now at running back.
Pete Carroll's still what he likes.
He loves to run the football.
They have the skill position players on the outside.
Mm-hmm. They believe that they have a quarterback.
Relatively cheap quarterback.
Yeah, $3.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
And they've made some moves like this before for talented players. Now, it backfired the Jamal Adams trade on them. But you're looking for realistic destinations, teams that don't have, an $800 million quarterback.
Right.
Could be interesting.
Well, but I mean, what's he going to get paid? Would you tell me Derrick Henry's the highest paid running back in the league, and he's making about 16?
It's him and McCaffrey.
All right, so realistically, what's Jonathan Taylor worth?
I mean, scrimmage yards, he's number 3 behind those two guys. So
what's he worth? $16 million?
See, that's
Or I'm the
real
latest
question.
guy. I need more.
I mean,
He's
that's
asking
what
for
he's thinking. Yeah,
more.
I get it. They're all asking for more. They're all.
What can you get him for?
I'm going to tell you again, and I'm going to go back to what I said in the first hour. The running backs are really, really vocal on woe is me, and I hear no swell of support behind them. I find this to be a running back problem that affects running backs, and ownership is basically doubling down. Irsay, Jerry Jones, everybody else going, yeah, it sucks for you, but this is the way the system is, and you know what? You don't like it, I'll find 2 guys to replace you, and they'll be cheaper. And that's just kind of how this is right now, because I got to pay everybody else, and it is harder for me to find a really good edge rusher, and it is harder for me to find a really good left tackle, and it's harder for me to find a difference-maker receiver, and it sure as hell is harder for me to find a difference-maker at quarterback, and that's where I got to spend my money. And you know what, bro? If you got to get by on $7 million a year, I don't think the public's going to really get behind your woe is me problem. And I think that's where this whole thing's going. I think the public's gone, yep, no, it sucks for them, but really sorry that you got to live on $7 million.
Yeah, it's interesting when they see tight ends getting $12.5 million. Cole Kmet got that 4 years, $50 million. I think these running backs are seeing this and saying, "Hey, I'm more important than tight end. Yeah, I do need $20 million." And
are you? I mean, are you?
Depends on the scheme, I suppose. But I personally would say no.
How many really good tight ends are there in the league? How many? Like I would tell you, way more teams are uncertain or less productive at tight end than they want to be. But almost everybody's got running backs. Everybody's got running backs. Everybody's got a serviceable running back.
A lot of times, too.
That's right. Not everybody's got a guy that you go, oh, yeah, that tight end's a difference maker. Everybody's got a serviceable running back or two. Now, very few got really good ones. That's the model. That's the point. And it's really hard for Joey Bag of Donuts and Louis Six-Pack to go, oh, that guy's only making $6 million. Yeah, my heart bleeds for this guy over here. Right? Get your ass to the ball and go to work. Right? It's hard. And this is the first time I've kind of heard the public not buy into it. Now, I can't remember the last time I heard a bunch of guys complaining about how they were underpaid as a group. It's usually, Zach Martin here and one guy. And it's, again, it sucks for them. But the more and more, this is kind of what I told you 2 weeks ago, right? Do we have a problem? They have a problem. Do we? I'm not sure we do.
No, in fact, actually, I'd argue it's a good thing for the fans because the game is changing. So you get to see an evolution of the game. And
I don't even know if I think the game is changing. I think the salary part of the game is changing, right? I mean, do you think when you watch an NFL game now, do you find running backs to be a significantly less part of a game? Now, you may find a featured back to be. I don't know, you guys, if you do the research, maybe you're right. Maybe there are less rushing attempts per game now than there were 15 years ago. I don't know the answer to that. But they're certainly splitting the carries more, right? I'm seeing way more Samaje Perine mixed in with Joe Mixon than I would have, 15 years ago.
Right. This is one where this is an absolute steal, a value for the NFL. And they're not changing. They're not budging because the top tier running backs are absolutely worth more money, but you're never going to get it.
They figured it out.
Austin Eckler had 107 receptions.
He's really good.
Plus his rushing carries. And yet we're supposed to sit here and tell these guys they're not worth it?
Again, what is worth? Tell me what
that is worth. You're paid to do your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're in a position where right now there's nowhere for them to go. There's no upside.
You know who's going to garner a lot of favor with fans? And it's going to piss off his peers. But it's going to be the guy who signs a $6-7 million deal and says, I know how lucky I am to play this game, and I'm fortunate, and I'm making a really good living to play a game. And yeah, I'd like more. I believe that we're worth more, but I'm really fortunate, and I know how lucky I am to play.
That's Saquon Barkley.
It's Melvin Gordon.
Did that.
Well, but he did it after singing the other side of the song, right? I mean, he fought it for a while. Yeah, he did say that, but it's hard to forget what the battle before. Melvin Gordon's making, what, $1.5 million?
I thought he was closer to 2, but
okay.
I mean, it's down there for a guy that I think he had 6 straight years with 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Very productive guy.
Yeah, how many fumbles with those 9 touchdowns?
He had a couple.
Yeah, once or twice. All right, we'll wrap it up. Everything you need to know as you go through your day-to-day, what happened this morning as we eye the baseball trade deadline coming up. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili.
People be watching the trade deadline today. Who might be traded? Max Scherzer has already been traded. Maybe Justin Verlander by the Mets. Maybe Nolan Arenado. I heard the Dodgers are sniffing around that a lot because they need more. What are the Padres going to do with Blake Snell and Josh Hader? Are they buyers or sellers? So we'll be watching a bunch of this as the day goes on, but that's certainly going to be something to watch. Is the war of words between the Broncos and the Jets done? Aaron Rodgers slammed the insecure Sean Payton for coming at his coach. And as JJ said, he set himself up for some easy fall if it doesn't go well for his team this year. Are we done with that? Because they're coming back to Sean Payton today and said, you hear what Rodgers said about you?
We're not done with it because we get week 5.
No, we get that.
Jets and Broncos.
Yeah.
And that's the game. If Aaron Rodgers goes off, Jets win. He's taking his post-game shots. Broncos knock off the Jets in that game.
Who's more motivated?
Sean Payton is going to be like, told you so.
I know you don't buy into this as much as maybe some. But when we get there, that week is just going to be full of everybody asking Broncos about Hackett. And you get a shot at your old coach. And you get Aaron with a chance to defend his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett. Who's got more to prove that week? Now, maybe we'll know a little bit more if one team's 1-4 and they're really desperate. But as I sit here now and look at a Week 5 game between two teams who have been verbally sparring with each other, who's got more right to be more pissed off, more motivated? I'm not sure I know the answer to that.
More to prove?
I mean,
it would be the Broncos.
I think that's right.
But also, we've been here so many times in sport. Look at the San Diego Padres. Look at the New York Mets. They won the offseason. They spent all the money. Everyone thinks the Jets are winning that division. All it's going to take is Dalvin Cook.
That's right. Well, even
haven't
without
done anything
him.
yet.
So I'm going to tell you why I think it's the Broncos. I just think there's more dudes there that might have a beef. If it was as bad with Nathaniel Hackett, right? Mm-hmm. There's more dudes there that played for Nathaniel Hackett that whatever it was, whether he was garbage, whether he wasn't a good dude, whether he was a bad coach, whether it was whatever. First of all, Russell Wilson's got a lot more to prove.
And Russell Wilson, that baggage is on him, too, because he took
100%.
advantage of a rookie head coach.
I think that's right.
have,
I've never heard it put that way. That's really good.
I'm doing my own thing. I'm Russell Wilson. This is my show. This is my office. Come talk to me over here.
You know what? I haven't heard it put that way, but that might be why I feel the way I feel about Russell Wilson. I didn't really realize it. I've never heard it put that way, that he took advantage of a rookie head coach. I've heard it put in the terms that the coach did not get the most out of the quarterback. The coach did not help the quarterback grow. And I've put a lot on Russell Wilson himself. I'm not absolving him of anything. And it's been hard for me to put all of the blame on the coach. I've never heard it put the way you just put it, and it just dinged for me. Do you feel that way? That the quarterback took advantage? This Super Bowl winning, high-paid, high-profile quarterback who needed his own office and his own trainer took advantage of a rookie coach.
JJ, you do make an excellent point there. I had not thought of that either. And when you kind of look at all the things that they did change or alter for Russell Wilson, putting music back in a training camp, letting him bring in his own quarterback's coach, giving him an office, he totally did take advantage of Hackett. You are absolutely right.
So did Hackett let him do that? I mean, he's still the damn coach, but he's a rookie coach. It's interesting. It's on the coach, but it's on both. The coach has got to.
He had to. I'm coming in, Russell Wilson.
He's making more than me. He's the guy. He's the franchise.
Well, it's probably one of those things like, I'll let him have this, and then we'll build our relationship.
So in what way do you think he took advantage of Nathaniel Hackett?
By doing it from the reports from players that are talking before and after last season, just pretty much saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, and we're doing it. Not, hey, Nathaniel, what do you want from me? What are we doing? What are the expectations? It's just pretty much
here's how I'm doing it and work around me.
This is the Russell Wilson way, and here we go.
This is how I won. And by the way, it's probably not how he won in Seattle.
Or this is what I want to do because I wanted out of Seattle, so this is why I'm here, so this is what we're doing.
Wow. I don't know that I think you're wrong. I just never put it in those terms. And I mean, you know how I feel about Russell Wilson. And I'm listening to Sean Payton tell me he's going to be fine and he's back and he's going to be good and Sean Payton's going to fix this. And by the way, Sean Payton has as many Super Bowl rings as, I don't know, Pete Carroll, as Mike Tomlin. No, he doesn't have as many as Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Tomlin has two.
Yeah. As Sean McVay. I mean, he's got one, right?
One, and that's his only appearance, too. McVay has two appearances.
And by the way, I'm not telling you I don't think he's a good coach. I do. But we're putting him up there like he's Dan Lombardi. I mean, he was the bidding war. He was the guy that everybody wanted. He got paid. Was he making $10 million a year?
Something like that, and they got a first rounder for him, too.
All right. I mean, we're building up Sean. Look, again, I don't want to disparage Sean Payton, but dude went out and ran his mouth against the guy who was there, which, I mean, tell me whether you like it or not. Really? And B, he's been in one damn Super Bowl. I got to believe that he's turning Russell Wilson around. Pardon me if I'm on the wait-and-see train on that one. Because I am. Thank you to Doug Brumfield, the quarterback at UNLV. So would you tell me how Mummy's joining us tomorrow at 7:30? The former Aggie coach, heck, him and Mike Leach are like the fathers of air raid.
How much bounty do you think will get mentioned with Sean Payton, the dude who, by the way, had to sit out a year of football?
Yeah, how about that?
It's not over.
I know, dude. Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. You want to come back and do it again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning with award-winning radio then? All right, we'll do that. DC, great work. Adrian looks great on the visual side. Thank you. Big day for you?
Huge day.
How come it's always a huge day for you? You got a lot going on. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind and loving and caring and sharing, and we will see you tomorrow.
What does it mean to be a good neighbor?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.